Hello, and welcome to the September market update from Commonwealth Financial Network. My name is Brad McMillan. I'm Commonwealth's Chief Investment Officer. Once again, we actually had a good month in the financial markets. U.S. markets were up pretty much across the board. The Dow and the S&P did pretty well. The NASDAQ did particularly well. Internationally, things were a little bit more mixed. The developed markets were a little bit under flat, but basically call it flat. But the emerging markets actually gained strongly. And what's interesting about all this is it's not necessarily what you would expect given everything that's happened over the month of August. Let's think about this a little bit. We had North Korea launching missiles across Japan. We had what's quite possibly the most destructive storm ever hit the United States. And by the way, that's an immense tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected. But with all of that, somehow the markets still seem to keep moving up. And the question to ask about that is why? And even more to the point, is it likely to continue? Let's start with the why. We've seen signs of a slowdown in the economy and financial markets over the past couple of months. And the news in August actually came in much stronger than expected. We saw second quarter economic growth revised upwards to one of the highest levels in recent years. We saw corporate profits come in much stronger than expected. We saw double-digit growth, which is something we haven't seen in a long time before the past couple of quarters. We saw 10 of 11 sectors show better than expected earnings growth. So when you look at the economy, when you look at the markets, actually things are a lot better than we thought they were as recently as a month or two ago. And that affects the markets. Looking forward, we're also seeing more positive signs. After some weak data, we actually saw retail sales growth come back. We saw business confidence bounce up strongly in the manufacturing sector. We've seen employment growth there. We've seen strong employment growth. This past month was a little bit slow, but not a disaster at all. And we're seeing signs that consumers are actually starting to be willing to spend as well as able to spend. When you combine that with businesses being more confident and starting to invest more, there's a real possibility we're going to see growth accelerate over the next couple of quarters. Now, that's not guaranteed, of course. The big risks, though, right now are not economic but political. The one that's actually coming up very shortly this month is the debt ceiling debate. This is something that we've had periodically over the past couple of years, and we're going into it again, and it has the potential to really rattle financial markets. This is something we need to keep an eye on. But at the same time, we've always seen Congress come together on this, so chances are that's exactly what will happen again. A little bit more uncertain, but less immediate, is the North Korea situation. And again, this has the potential to be very disruptive, but there's a big gap between potential and actuality. And that's something we need to keep an eye on, but we've always seen this kind of resolve to quiet before, and it's more than likely that's what will happen again. So as we close this month and we start September, here's where we are. Things in the U.S. economically are actually pretty good. Things around the world economically are actually pretty good. We do have risks, and we do need to pay attention to them, but right now, things are looking pretty good. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next month.